story that happened last week. Last week, I'm meeting with some executives from a foreign company, and they're putting forth a plan of what they intend to do in Lancaster. And I realized that if it comes true, everybody in Lancaster that wants a good job, who's willing to do a good job, will have one. Because one of the deals I always make is you got to give preference to local people. And the only thing that could screw that up is Washington. Washington could make that disappear tomorrow. The reason I know that is I've seen that happen. I've seen great things for the city of Lancaster just disappear because we had absolutely no help from Washington. And our current congressman, who I have supported over the years, I have given tens of thousands of dollars to, my wife and I have both been supporters of his, at the end of the day, has never done anything for Lancaster, has never given us any help whatsoever. And I think the reason for that is that he doesn't share the vision of what we see Lancaster can become. And in the last couple of months, I've met Bryan. And this guy's an incredible guy. He's like wickedly smart. He's smarter than I am. And, you know, I have an overinflated view of how smart I am. So that's really smart. More importantly, he sees the same thing. He has the same vision of just how magnificent we can be. And if he was in Washington, I can't imagine what we could accomplish, because the whole field would change. And if there's one thing I've learned in the last couple of months, is that we are now at a point where people have to vote their conscience. You know, what's happening in this nation is frightening. It is frightening to a lot of really strong leadership in the Republican Party. And that's why they're saying vote your conscience. You know, half of our citizens are Hispanic. Our congressman and the guy he's supporting for president wants to deport half of them. That's my city. That's the citizens in my city. How is that possible? That somebody can become that disconnected with the people he represents? You know, I keep hearing all this negative stuff coming from the Trump campaign. Last week, I heard Trump slam a Gold Star mother. And I kept waiting to hear our congressman come out and say, that is just wrong. And all I heard was silence. Bryan has no trouble saying that's wrong. You know, we are at the point where we have to choose loyalties. Are we loyal to our nation, our city, our families, or are we loyal to our political party? To me, that's no choice at all. The rest of the Republican slate, I'm supporting, like I've always supported. But for Congress, I am supporting Bryan, and I hope you do too.
Thank you very much to Mayor Paris for those kind words, for the support, and for inviting me to Lancaster on this beautiful summer morning. This is an exciting time. It's an exciting time because we stand in the beginning phase of a potential clean energy revolution. And if we all work together here in Lancaster, the Antelope Valley, the whole 25th district, we can be leaders of that economy as we move forward into the future. You know, throughout the course of this campaign, I've traveled from Lancaster to Simi Valley and back more times than I can count. And one thing you learn very quickly when you do that is that the talking heads on TV are wrong. We're not hopelessly divided. We are not so far apart from each other that there's no way forward. In fact, most people want the same thing. Most people want a safe community to raise their family, a cleaner environment to pass on to our children and our grandchildren, and the opportunity for a good, well-paying job close to home. And the great thing about supporting policies that promote investments in clean energy infrastructure is that you can accomplish all three with one fell swoop. Now, Congressman Steve Knight, he doesn't accept climate science, and he doesn't believe that America or Lancaster or this community should be a leader in the new clean energy economic boom. I do believe in climate change and recognize the dangers that it faces, and I know that we can improve our environment while at the same time creating good, well-paying jobs right here at home if we invest in that clean energy infrastructure. Now, I'm proud to stand here with Mayor Paris and so many other officials and community leaders who recognize that if we work together, if we stand up and put community above party, if we cut through corporate special interests and dirty energy companies, we will be able to fight through that Washington dysfunction. We will be able to lift up our community together, and we will be able to be leaders in the new economy as we move forward. I'm excited about what tomorrow holds, and I know that we can do this together. So thank you all for coming. Thank you to Mayor Paris. And now we're happy to answer a few questions if anybody has them.